A reading from the Gospel of Luke. Jesus said, "Who among you would say to your slave who's just come in from plowing or tending sheep in the field, 'Come here at once and take your place at the table'? Would you not rather say to him, 'Prepare supper for me, put on your apron and serve me while I eat and drink, and later you may eat and drink'? Do you thank the slave for doing what was commanded? So you also, when you have done all that you were ordered to do, say, 'We are worthless slaves. We've done only what we ought to have done.'" Well, I can't have been the only person who was surprised by Jesus' answer to his own rhetorical question. Would you invite someone who'd had a hard day, someone on your staff, someone in your employ, your servant, your slave? Would you invite them to come in and sit down and eat? My answer, I'd expect Jesus to say, is absolutely. And, pour the wine for them and wash their feet. All those things we've heard about servant ministry. But here's Jesus saying, no, you would expect your servant to finish their job. They come in from the fields, they wash off, they put on their apron, and the rest of their duties include feeding the people at the table, and then they get to eat. And then when they're done with all that, their job is not to expect accolades or as one person once said in parish ministry about some folks who were members of the congregation and did a lot, but this person, and this is years ago, said, well, they do a lot, but they kind of expect a parade. That is, there are folks who do a lot in the church, but expect there to be a lot of demonstrable gratitude and Thanksgiving sort of publicly headed their way. And that has always stuck with me, this image of a person wanting a parade thrown for them. It's kind of a nice way to talk about what Jesus is talking about in this passage, which is when we are in the kingdom, and he's, of course, teaching his disciples and followers at this portion in Luke's gospel, and he's talking to them about the cost of discipleship, what it means to follow him, what you're going to have to give up, and what he's telling us in no uncertain terms through this teaching today is, if you're expecting a lot of affirmation, if you're expecting a parade, that's not going to happen. He says, when you are taking part in God's kingdom in the world, when you are participating with God in God's activity in the world, it's hard work. And it's hard work that's then followed by more hard work. And then when you're done at the end of the day and you lay down your sword and shield and sort of lay down the tools of the trade for the day, you simply say, we know our place in this kingdom, and we are not at the top of the pyramid. We are not having a parade thrown for us. We are simply doing what God has asked, what God has commanded of us. Of course, at the end of the day, what is that? Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself while you're at it. But when we've done all that, that is its own reward, says Jesus. So no one can ever accuse Jesus of having sugar-coated what it looks like to be a part of God's kingdom and to follow in his discipleship. And as you and I continue in our own journey in this season of gratitude at St. James, where we're thinking about the things for which we are grateful, we can give thanks for the fact that we have a God who loves us and calls us into partnership with God. And we can give thanks for all those who journey along with us and know that that is its own reward. May God be with you in this day. May God bless you and keep you this day and always. Amen.